Howdy, howdy. Frosty510 here. Welcome to Bottle Pilgrim Redux. And this is a walking simulator emotional journey. And yeah, the demo. So we'll see if it's any good. Join me on this adventure. I think there's going to be a lot of dialogue, in all honesty. Shiny Waterfall, Chapter 1. We're already walking. We have no feet. We don't leave any footprints.
I like to go for long walks. Walks that cleanse the lungs and cleanse the spirit. This walk, though, has particular meaning for me, and it's a pilgrimage I make every year at this time.
Oh, why? Why do you make a pilgrimage every year at this time? Tell me more. Hope there are no local creatures that can attack us. No health bar, no water. I mean, hydration. This is pretty steep, you know? It's a bit of an angle. Could twist my ankle. Doesn't look like a conventional walking path. And it's like a tropical mixed with a swamp, mixed with a mountain. Like, that kind of tree does not fit. Neither does that. I'm kind of confused. Can I sprint? Okay. No punching or kicking. It is a walking simulator. I assume we can't miss any dialogue. Like, we don't have to trigger anything. It's just our movement. But then, where does this go? Did I miss a shortcut? No, it's a dead end. Is it a box? We do have collectibles. Ah. Oh. Oh, there's an auto walking button. That's convenient. In a walking simulator, we don't even have to walk. The graphics are pretty meh. It's more like...
I can remember every detail of my wife's appearance, even though she's been gone for nearly 10 years. I remember how her cheekbones would rise when she smiled. Remember her long, raven black hair flowing down her back like a shiny waterfall. I also remember how she looked without hair.
So she died of cancer and chemotherapy, and she had... Oh. 10 years. Oh. Oh, look, a bridge. Oh. Well. So where are we walking exactly? Are we just walking? Or do we follow the trail and find inner peace? Or just another day? But somehow we make this day special. We make every day special. Another memento. Auto walk. Anything in here? No? Okay. Oh look, it's a critter. This pig. It reminds me of my wife. Oh, God. Okay, we're at the waterfall. Now we're wet. Shoes are wet. We're soaked to the bone.
She was still beautiful, and she could still smile, but not as often as she used to. The sickness came and went quickly enough, but when it went, it took her with it. I was only 31 years old at the time. She, 33, and our daughter, Emily, had only recently turned 6.
Oh. I know, I suppose that's the challenge of the walking sim, is to make you feel something, but I don't know. Games, the feature is that... Okay, we're at the hospital. Okay. Like, the point of a game is gameplay. Or an interaction that has meaning, I suppose. It's probably the most basic. But that said, you know, there's plenty of, you know, visual novels and things, but they do offer you meaning in various ways. Big, big, big. Oh, gosh. So, like, yeah, so this is dealing with something that happened 10 years ago. Or not even dealing with it, it's just reflecting upon it. So I don't know how grasped in emotion you can be. If the daughter was also with us on this journey, maybe that suddenly we have the toing and froing and we have the emotional turmoil and two different characters dealing with grief. And you have like a conflict there. And you have the journey brings transformation. Perhaps there's more. But just on your own, I think I'm finding this environment very odd, I suppose. So it doesn't really, I don't know. It's not. I'm sure it'll come to fruit that, you know, we go with
It's
the
hard
wife
enough
on this
for
journey.
a parent to raise a young child on their own. Doubly so when that child is of the opposite gender, yet that's precisely the predicament I found myself in when Cassandra died.
You do the best you can. Okay, so he's gonna, at the end of this, he's gonna say, oh, and the teenage daughter fled home, became a rebel, did drugs, or something. I don't know, maybe
By
not.
all means, both sets of grandparents did their best to help out, but my pride dictated that I could only ask so much of them. I needed to prove to everyone, not at least of all myself, that I could do this. I had no desire to be the all but absent father that my own had been, but an endeavor to spend as much time as I could caring for my daughter in the most direct way possible. I won't deny that the odd drink came in handy during this early period, but it was yet to become a problem.
Oh my gosh, the stereotypes. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Alcohol's always been a great solution to all problems. But yeah. And the whole too punch pride, all that sort of stuff. I don't know, I feel like so many of these stereotypes can be cut off so early. As in, like, just only takes an awakening here or there. An intervention at any point to go, no, you do need more help. It's, you know. I mean, you have both sets of grandparents. He's not alone. Not alone particularly because he's with a child. So they're together, you know. Did they lose the parental leverage because they're a team? No. I don't know. Life can be complex in that way. In so many ways. But I still think there's probably one of the foibles of stereotypical stories that defying the parental experience, trying to be the opposite and then not becoming the same or similar. or just realizing that all the challenges are similar, and how you deal with them is what matters. And putting all the burden on yourself, or just viewing it as a burden. Perspective. Hard to find perspective when everything is so stereotypical. Oh, we died. Oh, we died again. How? I managed to die twice in a walking simulator. Tremendous.
Much greater challenges in the early days were the ones that people would think almost trivial. Ensuring my daughter was safe when she used public restrooms, and that she cleaned herself properly when she was in the bathtub. Responsibilities that would normally fall upon the female parent when there is one. Emily was still very young at the time, of course, but old enough to feel awkward that her father was checking in on her during her more private moments. There's no denying that the presence of a woman would have alleviated much of the burden cast suddenly upon both of our lives.
Did he think that the solution to that was to find another person? Find another partner to help with his journey? Or is it... No? Okay. Oh, I suppose the grandparents on both sides. Nurses, doctors. I don't know, that's a bit too far, isn't it? But it's like, you do have other resources to lean on. But it's just kind of one of those things where it's just going to be a little bit awkward. But, you know, everyone understandably awkward. And people go through their whole lives not learning things. Because people think it's inconvenient to teach them even more basic stuff. People just don't know, and then they find out later on, oh, and they go, why don't you teach me this and tell me that? And then they go,
It's
oh, well,
not like I
thought
didn't
you'd
try
learn.
to meet other women after Cassandra's passing.
Okay,
I
so you
even
did
went
try.
on the odd date, but, well, between my teaching job and my responsibilities as a single parent, it was hard to not only find the time, but to find someone to babysit for the evening without calling upon the goodwill of the grandparents yet again. Most of all, though, it was impossible to find someone to fill the yawning void that Cassandra had left in her wake.
Alright, so Cassandra is just a beast. She's just super special. Well, shit. They must be the challenges. He's got a good job, so he is earning money. He can afford a babysitter. Shit. That's a positive, at least. You gotta look at all the positives. Oh, don't play a song, because I don't want copyright.
I never asked you to be alone, my son. You'd have had my blessing if you had found someone else. All I would have asked was that she be a good mother to Emily.
The voice sounds like a child. That's a bit disturbing. No, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So 16 years old is the child now. Child. Teenager. Still child. Interlude 1, Rendezvous. So... he's what, 43? Okay.
Ah, yes. I remember this evening. My wife left a note for me with a friend of ours who worked at a place called Danny's Cafe. Oh, she always did like her little games. We had a lot of good times in this district, made a lot of good friends, enjoyed a lot of good meals, but there are, unfortunately, other memories which I associate with this place.
Okay. I mean, it's not like, you know, as long as she's not like a swinger or something. But then again, you know, that's totally... That's... I don't know. Yeah, so Cassandra's just a beast. She just something special. Okay, like, where am I supposed to be going? Oh. I'm so... Okay, I can't pick that up. This place is looking less and less magical the more I actually look at it. It looks like a pretty dingy... Yeah, the brick walls. They're just... Yeah. Where am I supposed to go? I don't think the environments are conveying as well as they could. I don't feel... I feel like they're so disjointed. Like the assets are just... You know, just add more sort of thing. Rather than carefully placed, I feel like they're just haphazardly scattered everywhere. Okay, how the heck do we get out of here? Oh, there's the note.
The note says, "Dearest, come meet me at O'Doyle's at 6:30. Oh, but one small favor along the way. Emily says she left Axel in the playground. You know how upset she gets without her bunny rabbit. Oh dear. Still, I guess I'm not one to judge. I've been known to get a bit negligent from time to time myself."
She was negligent! Alright, so we got the teddy bear. I hate leaving stuff behind. Nothing worse.
That's one errand run. Next stop, O'Doyle's. Ah, the aromas of this district, the delectable scent of recently roasted coffee beans, freshly cut cake, and all manner of chocolatey delights. Truly a gastronome's paradise.
Yeah, I don't think you conveyed that with the environment. I don't think so.
The last time Cassandra asked me to meet her here at night, it was to tell me she was pregnant. I wonder what the big news will be this time.
Ah, here's the cancer news. Okay. Okay. Chapter 2, Little Mermaid. She's a fish. tell you, getting caught out in the rain here and getting a terrible, dreadful cold is no way to take care of your teenage daughter. Pretty, fairly irresponsible.
Somehow, teaching children of early high school age had done little to prepare me for the task of raising a child not many years younger. She still had an innocence at her age, while the scamps that I taught, I'm being a bit harsh of course, but well, the students that I taught were in the process of growing up very quickly, a little too quickly, some of them. I sincerely hoped that my Emily wouldn't be quite so precocious by the time she was that age.
Yeah, well, teen pregnancy is a terrible thing. Or not, who knows? Depends on the people. But otherwise, preferably, you know, it's always err on the side of no. But, you know, circumstances can be positive. Even if they don't seem like it. Who knows? Everyone's different. It's always generalizing that is the devil. That's a good generalization. And that's such a typical thing. The parents don't want the kids to grow up too quickly, but it's not really a choice. The best you can do is prepare them as much as you can. Like, if they listen, you know, it's not like it's a guarantee that they'll even listen to you. You know, words of wisdom only have value if someone's willing to listen. They need the wisdom to listen. There's so many words already out there. So much has already been said. So many clever and intelligent things have already been communicated. In a car. Oh, I'm motoring now. And then, I'm into the river! How are there so many well-maintained bridges but not well-maintained paths?
I enjoyed taking my daughter on short trips, well away from the city. I didn't want her knowing nothing but schools and streets, which my own life almost seemed to consist of. I figured she needed to breathe a bit of nature every once in a while, enjoy a bit of fresh air. It's one thing to civilize a child, but another to deny them their childhood altogether. We both seem to like the beach, especially.
So that's nice. You know, children can be the sort of the gateway to expand your own horizons because you feel compelled to expand theirs and show them the world, and you can see it too. Sort of it can be tricky too, you know. You want to, you know, put your phone down, get off the gaming console, and go out and see the world.
The water. In another life, I believe she could have easily been a fish. Sometimes I even called her my little mermaid. She loved the sand too, and liked to build things with it. One day I helped her make a fairy tale castle and cast her, only in her mind of course, as a kind of mermaid Rapunzel, trapped in a tower far beneath the water, her long hair flowing with the whims of the waves.
Yeah, what does she want to do though? There's a lot of this, you telling her who she is and what she wants to do. You know. She asked you to set the stage for the play, the sandcastle.
Would you be my prince and come save me, Daddy? She asked. No, sweetie, that'll be another man. We just don't know who yet.
Or
but
woman.
One day your prince will come.
Or princess.
only to myself, that the man in question would
Oh,
merely
woman.
break her heart. I wish nothing more for her than to find the happily ever after that eludes so many others.
Oh, woman, it's 2024. Jesus. Or something more complicated. More pigs. Yeah, you can hope for the best, but ultimately it's still, you know, a child, a teenager. They, you know, they're a human. They got their own choices. They've got their own, you know, their own journey.
For a brief time, when Emily was 7 years old, I managed to get involved with another woman for all of 6 months. Another teacher at the same high school. When that ended, we did our best to go back to just being friends and colleagues, but it wasn't long before the woman in question happened to find herself a job at another school. I never knew whether I was the primary cause for her leaving, but knew that it was probably for the best. She only met Emily once. I don't think Emily liked her very much. Yeah, it was probably for the best.
Whoa! More drama. I don't know. That can take time. Take time for kids to warm up to, you know, a new parent. Or someone in that sort of similar role. But then at the same time, they just won't be a replacement. And there's no need to get too obsessed with them being the replacement, I suppose is the point. His own happiness and their own happiness does matter. Even if the kid doesn't, you know, take to them, it is what it is. It's not something should be forced or expected. I just, yeah, I kind of just... That shouldn't be the reason, though, if things don't work out. Because I think, unless it's like really bad, but then I feel like people can work these things out. Otherwise they're, you know, not treated as people. So everyone deserves respect. It's the only time deserving has any value. But you can't force people to respect others. Okay.
I know you always acted with Emily's best interests at heart. And mine when I was alive. You were a good husband. And a good father. Nobody's perfect.
Surely there's no hidden dark undertones to this story. It's gonna just, you know, turn out he's a serial killer. Or something. Alright, so that was the end of the demo. But I think it sort of succeeds in that I do want to know the full story. So I think that's a success. As much as a, you know, walking simulator, you'd expect something of the graphics and something of the narrative. I think the narrative has done enough to be like, well, what do you mean? Does it all work out? Did it all work out, or does it go bad? But then at the same time, I feel like it's not really conveying a hell of a lot, other than just falling down the stereotypes. The writing being so stereotypical. But at the same time, maybe it changes, has a twist at some point. But I just don't know. I don't want to spend $16 on it. tell me what you think. Do you think Pilgrim Redux, awful title? Do you think it has any value, I suppose, is my question to you? Because I feel like it's kind of hard, because the value of storytelling, when you fall down the lines of just blatant stereotypes, is that your resolution to the conflict, whatever conflict there is something of meaning. And it's like the author expresses what they think the solution to the problem is, or what the real problem is, and how it could be solved, or even if it's worth solving. It's just appreciating the problem is the solution. So, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it could go interesting directions, but having said that, it's very irresponsible. The father of the 16-year-old to be wandering in the mountains getting rained on. I mean, they're sufficiently prepared. I'm sure it's not so bad, but I don't know. I feel like there was an opportunity to do more, but I can understand the limitations as well. But just dumping assets, and hell, you could reduce the amount of environments because they're so, repetitious and just meaningless. So like more like the second section, maybe even less areas to walk around, and you could take control away. Honestly, you could take the walking away, really, and just have it run like a visual novel sort of thing, like a show. Because you have no decisions that matter. You're picking up batteries and putting them in a radio, so I don't know. These are the sorts of things where it's like it doesn't have any value as a game. It could be much better off as just like a little short story thing. But then it's so stereotypical. I feel like it's been done a million times already. I don't know how they get the idea that making these things a games adds any value. Yeah, that's what I think though. I think it could go somewhere interesting direction. I am interested in where it goes. A little bit. So I think it has succeeded as a demo. Whether the game itself fully played is... I don't know. I just feel like the walking is pointless. It's like the fundamental... The gameplay itself is meaningless. And is totally unnecessary. You could just play the audio clips. And that would be it. Having a pause between them so that I can talk about them, I suppose. Does that add value to this video? Is kind of the question. But this is so stereotypical. I feel like a lot of these, they take away from the characters. Like it feels like there's no character. Like the people don't have any personality at all. And then like there's faint glimmers of personality, and then it's supposed to unfold, of course, as you progress. But I don't know, I feel like it could be more distinct. Yeah. Piano's lovely. I hope it doesn't have copyright striking, because if it does, I'm completely screwed. Yeah, so if you're only hearing this audio at this point, then the whole thing was copyright struck. And that means that the whole video was muted and you just read the text. In that case, but otherwise, if it wasn't copyright, the whole piano pieces, then interesting. Tell me what you think in the comments. Yeah, I do think I would like to know the full story, and I think that's a positive. Is what I'll end on. Yeah, it's been Frosty510 playing Bottle Pilgrim Redux. Playing, I suppose, is being a bit generous. Yeah, with a narrative walking simulator. Alright, catch you next time. See ya.